Close my eyes. I just close my eyes and dream. Don't know what I had thought I really figured out.
Yes, yes, yes. This is your favorite YouTube show, Behind the Mic, where we discuss what we did today on the radio, Behind the Mic. My name is Andrew Coates, and today for the radio show, I went over the first African-American nurse and also Mr. Gabriel Prosser, who led an unsuccessful but very ambitious slave revolt. Yeah, interesting stuff today. I was going a little more mellow, not necessarily the big stuff. Like the last show I did, the Pride. Oh boy, just tripping up on my words today. The parade, the silent parade. Last week I did that. I consider that to be one of the real strong ones.
Wait a minute, you got me lost. Silent parade from last week.
Yeah. Remember, of 1917.
But what if I wasn't here last week? Could you reiterate?
Last week, I went over the silent parade of 1917, which was the first peaceful protest of its kind to be used for the civil rights here in African Americans in America here. It was very groundbreaking, and I'm very certain that it was also the basis of lots of Martin Luther King's walks and famous marches and things. It was pretty good. I did that. And I was being a little more mellow today, but still always quality content.
Who's the grandfather of the civil rights movement?
Grandfather of the civil rights movement, as in the leader, I'm going to have to say Martin Luther King.
MG.
MG.
Lessons, everybody. Marcus Garvey.
Marcus Garvey, yeah. All right, yeah. I'm slipping a little bit here.
No, you're not. No, you're not. You might not know.
I want to say, was he the one that was going for blacks going back to Africa, or was that his father?
No, that was him, Marcus Garvey.
That was him. Yeah, he wanted blacks to go back to Africa and just leave America and forget it.
Yeah. Now, one of the things that you're going to have to start doing is, and this is for everybody, when you go through history and you find out different people, like what was the name of the uprising? What was the name of that brother?
Gabriel Prosser.
Okay, so when Gabriel started the uprising, my question to you was what? Did Nat Turner, did he proceed? Did that happen before Nat Turner?
And I said no, I don't think it did.
Yeah, but you don't know.
I think it was close around the same time.
But you don't know.
Right?
Do not stop that. That goes for everybody out there too. Don't act like you know if you don't know. The worst thing is somebody who acts like they know-it-all. I don't know it all. And so what I'm saying to you is, as you go through, you got to keep a little journal, a little notebook with the years. Because when you start doing that and you start putting it all together, connecting the dots in history of our people who have gone through so much struggle, you know, then you get a more complete picture.
Certainly.
So that's what I'm telling, you know, because Behind the Mic is for us to talk about what we did on the air. And the audience has to suffer through the learning process that takes place here, right? And this is for anybody who thinks that we up here playing games and just playing music.
As a matter of fact, we mentioned this before, I'm sure, but we use Behind the Mic to say the things that we can't say on public radio. So Behind the Mic is actually a bit more into it, in depth with the detail here
Yeah. You know, and as I look at the spirit of this country with the demagogue, quote unquote, leadership of this country, I see racism all over it. And I'm not afraid to call it what it is.
I also see greed.
Yeah. Right. And you have to understand the economics of racism. There's an economic aspect of that. So that we as a people have to come together and support one another. You know, the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. Yeah. Look that up if you don't know. But I guess a lot of our viewership and people who check us out, I would like to think that they know. Right? The 7 principles. Quest originates through Kwanzaa. It's about empowerment of our youth. And I love assisting young people to be empowered. Okay? And so we've adopted so many other styles of other cultures, and we need to continue to learn our history and embrace our own. That's not to put anybody down, but it's definitely to uplift us. No doubt about it. Okay?
I always find it a bit uncomfortable for me. It's just a feeling where people try to learn other things and they do everything they can to branch out without knowing an inch about themselves, about their own culture, even their own family life. You need to figure out yourself first, I feel, before you move on to try to figure out other people. Because how can you do that if you don't have a base to come back to?
Yes, sir. This is why I like this young man, ladies and gentlemen. He stumbled across one of the most important things that every individual needs to know in their lives. The hardest thing that you could ever do is to know yourself.
I've been hearing that more and more recently. Sit down and have a talk with yourself.
Be crazy, y'all! Oh, no, let me stop.
Figure out what you like, what you don't like. Just get it all in there.
Yeah, so on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you give the show from the day?
Well, I give the show a 9. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the information here. As a matter of fact, this particular Behind the Mic, I like as well. I feel we got a lot of information here. And yeah, I believe that about wraps it up. I've said all I've had to say. Thank you very much for watching. Of course, this will be uploaded to YouTube. Please subscribe and like. Hit all the buttons that are good for us.
Yeah.
Please follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Hit all the buttons that are good for us. You can also find us on the radio show every single Saturday, 9:30 to 10 o'clock in the a.m. Hit us up on our website, Questyouthradio.com. Plenty of content there. Thank you very much for watching Behind the Mic. Stay conscious.
And a big shout out to those people who have tuned into the show and given us shout outs, and a shout out for support for music. I saw you, we see you, we love you, we need you, and thank you, and continue. The struggle continues. Peace.